Welcome to Mitchell Elf. Our theme this year is Adaptations, and this unit is Hunter Hunted, and this is Center 5, Stories of Hunters and Hunted. The objective of this center is to tell a story with a felt board that helps students understand the shifting balance and interdependence of predators and their prey. The story can be used as an introduction or opening with the whole class, or you could use it as a conclusion too if you'd like. Or it can be also used as a fifth center, which is how we put it in here. Either way, you need at least 2 volunteers, one to tell the story, rabbits and foxes, and 1 or 2 others to put up and take down the felt pieces. The story flows more smoothly with a couple of assistants, for sure at least 1. So make sure the narrator can see what's happening also while you do the board. And before you do it, you should definitely read it ahead of time so you're familiar with the story, and maybe even practice taking things off and on because it gets a little tricky. Ask the students to listen and watch as you read rabbits and foxes, and have your assistants follow the stage directions on the extra scripts. Afterwards, you can use the follow-up questions that accompany the story to discuss the changes in the number of rabbits and the foxes in relation to the seasons and the available food supply. So what I thought I would do, so basically it's a story of supply and demand and predators and prey and availability of food. And so what I thought I would do is read the story and show you how it works, and hopefully that helps you. You can set it up however you'd like to, but this is the general idea of how it works. So here we go. Rabbits and foxes. So your setup will be that you'll have the big tree, the bushes and the grasses, the rock and the den, and then 2 evergreen trees up there as well. So here's the story. This is a story of a young fox named Freddy. And Freddy has an eye, and that's how we know it's Freddy. And a young rabbit named Robert, who live, and the rabbit also has an eye. None of the other foxes and rabbits have eyes, so that's how you know those are Freddy and Robert. They lived in a land called Faraway Woods. Our story starts on a warm, sunny summer's day. Freddy and Robert are both young. They were both born in the spring and are each beginning to learn how to find their own food. Robert has had a wonderful summer. There are lots of good things to eat. Grass and tender leaves, twigs and buds, and warm days all summer long. So then in the script, it tells you to put up 12 rabbits. He has lots of brothers and sisters, aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, and friends. And there's plenty of food for all of them. The only thing Robert worries about is the big danger. In the middle of the field is a fox den. So then the directions tell you to put up 3 foxes. And he's been told many times to be careful of the new fox family that lives there. Meanwhile, Freddy, the young fox, is learning how to catch grasshoppers, pick berries, lunge after mice, and keep his nose open for any signs of rabbits. He's been told many times the very best thing for dinner is a nice young rabbit. Things start changing around Faraway Woods when October comes. The days get shorter, it gets chilly, the leaves fall off the trees and shrubs, and the grasses die back. So this is where you would remove all the green stuff except for the evergreen trees. Food is harder to find. Some rabbits have to go far away from home to look for food. It prompts you to take off 3 rabbits. They often bring back very bad news. It seems there isn't much food anywhere, and there is another fox family in the area. She added 4 foxes. Meanwhile, Freddy is ready to leave his home. He decides not to go too far away from the area since there are so many nice fat rabbits around that would make good meals all winter long, if only he could catch one. One day, late in fall, after spending hours looking for something to eat, Freddie catches the scent of a rabbit. Crouching down, he slowly approaches a low bush. There, nibbling, is an older rabbit. Freddie feels a little scared since he's never caught anything before. But his hungry stomach pushes him on. He moves in quickly and springs. Surprisingly, the rabbit is caught unaware. Freddie manages to kill it. It turns out to be a very old, weak rabbit, but it's food to Freddie, his first successful rabbit hunt. So you remove the one rabbit. By the end of, winter finally moves in. So at this point you would add snow, and some of the trees you turn over, and they have snow on the other side. So winter finally moves in, covering faraway woods with a layer of white fluffy stuff, something completely new to Freddie and Robert. Life becomes much more difficult for the rabbits. Food is even harder to find. So this would be a good place maybe to pause in the story as your helper is putting things up, and this might be a good reason why you want 2 helpers. So food is even harder to find. The farther the rabbits have to go to look for food, the more dangerous it is. There goes another rabbit. Traveling in the snow is not much fun. Plus, it is very tiring. And there goes another rabbit. Often, they hear that another rabbit has been eaten by a fox. By the end of winter, now you got to take all the snow back off. The rabbit colony is not in very good shape. Some rabbits have even starved to death. There goes 3 more. Always make sure you don't take off Freddie and you don't take off Robert. Finally, spring returns. Spring returns. Grass is back on. Yay. The rabbit colony is not, let's see, but the rabbits that survived, including young Robert, look pretty thin. Not very many baby rabbits are born this spring. I get 3 more rabbits because not very many got born. Yay. Freddie and the rest of the foxes have had a great winter dining on rabbits. The foxes are well fed, and new litters of fox kits are born to their healthy fox mothers. The summer goes very well for everybody. All the young foxes grow up eating lots of mice, berries, and grasshoppers. The older foxes notice that there are not as many rabbits this summer as there were last year. Young rabbits, usually easy to catch, are few and far between. But right now it doesn't matter to the foxes because there is plenty of other food. Robert and the rabbits are recovering from their hard winter. With new greens and twigs available and not as many rabbits to feed, they all look a lot better and are getting plenty to eat. The rabbits are extra wary of the foxes since there are so many around these days. All of the animals are surprised when winter comes early this year. Winter, blow in. Your winter. By Thanksgiving, there is snow on the ground. As winter continues, it becomes obvious that there are too many foxes and not enough food. Freddie and his friends find themselves fighting over hunting territories. Maybe just put up the 1 snow, that's fine. Many of the foxes are even forced to leave faraway woods. So there goes 8. If only there were as many rabbits as last year.
6, 7, 8.
As spring slowly comes, Robert notices that almost all the rabbits are alive and well. There may not be too many, but all of them are well fed and looking forward to new litters of baby rabbits that will soon be born. So you can see the process of changing the felt board is ongoing, and you'll have to work on timing of your story and pausing, but keeping the kids' attention as you go. On the last day of our story, Freddie is lying on a sun-warmed rock, looking over the field. He notices how few foxes stayed in faraway woods all winter. But as he looks over to the far end of the field, he sees lots of small rabbits hopping around. Here come 8 more rabbits. He says, look at all those tasty little rabbit meals over there waiting for me. Maybe things aren't going to be so bad after all. And that's the end of the story. So, and then there's some discussion questions for after you read the story, such as what happened to the food supply when there were a lot of rabbits. What might happen to the rabbits if there were no foxes? What might happen to the foxes if there were no rabbits? Things like that. The story should probably take up a good part of your center time. There's a book in here you can read as well. You can discuss the story and discuss the questions with the kids. And hopefully it's just a really fun but informative way to illustrate the relationship between predators and prey. If you have any questions, you can email us at mitchellelf@gmail.com. Please keep track of all the parts to this story because it doesn't work as well when parts are missing. And if parts are missing, please email us immediately. Thank you very much.